Before I start, let me go ahead and throw a legal disclaimer out. The information contained in this video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not intended as health or medical advice, because I ain't a doctor. Always consult a real physician or other qualified health providers regarding any questions you may have about a medical condition or health objectives. Full credit to HHR for pointing this information out. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. Do what you want. I'm hoping YouTube doesn't take this video down, as I'm not calling the vaccine a lie or trying to dissuade you from taking it. I'm simply reporting what I discovered. Multiple free sites are carrying the story, so let's dive in. So, what's a Vaccident? I'm also seeing Vaccident. You could decide which one you want to Google later. Simply stated, there are motor vehicle accidents that are allegedly being caused by the vaccination.
Allegedly!
Thus causing a loss of brain function behind the wheel. People are noticing an uptick in what they believe are driving-related strokes. Driving erratically and drifting into lanes. Starting with the current vaccine status, so far, 42% of American citizens, about 142 million, have had one dose. 30% have had two doses. There are all sorts of implications if there's any truth to this whatsoever, which I can't validate, and you shouldn't either. But not only it's drivers, it's pilots, it's the military, heavy equipment operators. I even talked to one of my connections on a military base, and they say that some of the special forces, after they get the second vaccine, they don't even let them work for 3 months. So some things are happening that maybe we don't know about. Let me show you what I came up with. Okay, so here's one of the first sites that I saw. Vaccidents now wrecking roadways with stroke out vaccine takers who lose brain function behind the wheel. Lots of words, but it goes on to talk about different things. It points credit to HRR is the site who actually made the video. They're on Brighton. You can find it there if you look for HRR. You know, you do a little bit more digging around, and here we go. This is actually being carried by SGT Report, who still exists. It's just that he doesn't have a YouTube channel anymore, because thank you, YouTube. But then it starts to reach into some of the more libertarian websites have started to pick it up. Then that's where you start to see the difference in spelling about Vaccidents. Okay. And then apparently when these things started getting posted, people are like, whoa, yeah, exactly. The big one is, where are we at here? I've been noticing this over the past 2 or 3 weeks, but it has become really much more pronounced in the last week. I also see something similar with parking. I see people driving around parking lots looking for a spot to park in, driving past open spots repeatedly, and then finally choosing some random spot to park in, like they couldn't choose one. Really strange. Yeah, there's just some weird stuff going on here, and I'll include all these links in the description box so you guys can go read this for yourself. Another one out of the rumor mill, a different section of that paper, is kind of caught my attention. Seems like this kind of thing is starting to happen pretty frequently. It is happening here in rural Southern California. Desert tool drivers are swerving into oncoming traffic. Quite challenging on narrow mountain roads. I'm happy that I drive a three-quarter ton truck. I really feel like this is how the zombie apocalypse begins. You know, obviously going off into left field, but it's becoming more noticeable. So I was like, okay, well, let's see. I mean, what are the side effects? So I went to the actual CDC website to see what the side effects, what they're saying. Hey, by the way, you might feel this way. This might happen. And they go to the common side effects, just the simple stuff. Helpful tips: drink some water, dress lightly. Yeah, like that made a difference. You know, the second shot. Where are we at here? But then that's it. It's like, okay, they don't talk about any other side effects, like none other than the basic, oh, you feel sick. So I did a little rooting around and found this article on CNET, and it talks about the COVID-19 vaccine side effects, what's normal, what to look out for. And then, it's blah, blah, just the basic stuff, that the same thing that CDC talks about. They talk about the difference between the Pfizer and Moderna vaccine. We've got the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, the AstraZeneca side effects, and it's all just this blah, blah, blah common stuff. So, and then until you get down to severe side effects. And then what they're calling it is experience a severe allergic reaction. And this was in the case of the Pfizer that we read about a couple weeks ago, where they was like, hey, we need to stop doing this. Some serious adverse events from the vaccine. Where are we at? How long do vaccine side effects last? Going back to that little thing that I was telling you at the very beginning of the video. Typically, vaccine side effects don't last longer than a couple of weeks. Okay, a couple of weeks. All right. Matthew says some may experience side effects for several days. Side effects were related directly to the injection site, like bruising and redness. There was actually one part where I read that said if you have soreness in your arm after 3 weeks, go see a doctor. Yeah, after 3 days, if you were still sore in your arm, you probably should go see a doctor. Long-term side effects from any of the COVID-19 vaccines. At this point, it's way too early to determine whether the COVID-19 vaccines cause long-term side effects. Although experts are confident the vaccines are safe, the CDC, the WHO, and the FDA, and other institutions will continue to monitor long-term effects, collecting data as more people get vaccinated. Yeah. So basically no information. But they also had another article that talked about blood clots. Well, if you didn't know this, most people have strokes because of blood clots. The dots are starting to connect. And should you be concerned? There was some data that they put together here, but they basically said that only women between 33 and 60 years old experience these blood clots. There are some reports that they talk about women that have these unbelievably painful periods, and they're relating them to blood clots. What are blood clots? Well, they're clots of blood. Where are we at here? And then if you go down here, there was one little thing that caught my eye. Overall, the apparent risk of incurring blood clots from the COVID-19 vaccine are lower than taking birth control pills, because that's the median. That's what we're going to do. They say, the University of Minnesota states that those who are fully vaccinated are 8 to 10 times less likely to have blood clots than those who contract COVID-19. Oh my God, we're just going to stop right there. Bottom line is that there are reports of people driving and going loopy and just plowing into other people. Apparently it is happening. There is a little bit of an uptick in it. But here's what I would say. Are Vaccidents really happening, or is this just mass paranoia attempting to justify, what they're seeing? Who knows? The more important question would be, is the vaccine causing these accidents via stroke? Because that's what it appears to be doing. I'm not saying it is. That's what it appears to be doing.
Allegedly!
Or is it the virus itself that's causing the blood clot that causes the stroke? Possible. Who knows? We'll have to watch and learn. If you like what I'm doing, you know what to do. Until next time, stay safe.